we're back for another episode of the Gaming Underground, here for another topic video for a game that just recently got some more information that has gotten so much hype ever since it's been released. Well, the information itself. For the game of this particular, the version of the game for this particular handheld console. I don't even know what you want to call this. I fluctuate between console and handheld. I guess you can consider this a console because just look at this thing. It's a massive. That's what she said. Now back to the topic at hand. Super Smash Bros. 4 for the 3DS and the Wii U. We got confirmation that the Wii U game is going to be coming out later than the 3DS game. I don't know why the decision. I don't know what person Nintendo made this decision. A lot of people are saying that's a good thing. Some people are saying it's a bad thing. I don't know which one. I honestly don't want the game to come out separately from the Wii U. But then again, you gotta think about it. Like, if the Wii U game came out at the same time as this 3DS game, what would sell more? Honestly, in your mind, what would sell more? The 3DS itself is already in almost everybody's pocket. As you can tell, I have this. A lot of you don't know, I actually have two 3DSs. Yeah, two. This is the first time I actually own two versions of the same handheld in a generation at the same time. I never held a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy SP at the same time that I was, using it. The 3DS itself, the original 3DS, is really cool looking. I personally prefer its design over the 3DS XL. But the 3DS XL has more room on it that I don't have to cramp my hands. I'm not talking about the 3DS, but this is about the Smash Bros. Game. This is so freaking cool. I'm not gonna cut any. This is gonna be first take. I don't care if you don't care on my 3DS or not. I've already stated that I shouldn't be talking about that, but the 3DS, Smash Bros. For the 3DS. This Smash Bros. In general, good God Almighty. I've never owned one Smash Bros. Game, but I've at least played them all once. I've actually had more touch time with the Smash Bros. For the Wii versus Smash Bros. Brawl. I've only played Melee, I think, twice. Because I only played them twice. I only really got to play it in high school on the last day of school. Yeah, that's right. When I was in high school, we were able to play video games in school. Jealous now? And I've managed to play Smash Bros. For the Super Nintendo. Nintendo 64 once. Really, the game in general did not age well. A lot of Nintendo 64 games were great for their time, but Smash Bros. 64 to me didn't age well. So I don't even know. Another thing is just by the time this video part comes up, it's either gonna precede a barrage of topic videos combined with game videos, or it's gonna come within the barrage of topic videos because these are easier for me to record. Still looking for a job. But besides that, life gets in the way. I like to say that Smash Bros. For the 3DS and the Wii U, amazing characters. Like some of the characters they introduced, I'm so happy to see. Some of the new ones, I'm really glad to see. Some of the changes to old characters, I'm glad to see. Like for one instance of a change, Zelda, as we all know, is in the game. But a lot of people before this announcement were unaware if we were going to be able to transform into Sheik. That's not the case. Sheik is a character all on his own now. Like, you don't have to beat Zelda to become Sheik. And I think this is probably due to the fact that any Zelda player I've ever seen very, very rarely will stay in Zelda. They will automatically, when the fight starts, transform into Sheik. Because Sheik is an all-around better fighter than Zelda. Zelda's good and everything, but Sheik's a little bit better than her. You got Seraph Samus, who is now her own character. I honestly, it's cool that she's her own character, but honestly, she has way more sex appeal in this game. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And this might be because the high definition graphics. I'm gonna go with that. It's like she was hot as it was in Brawl. Sorry, going on top, but she was hot as it was. She was in Brawl. She was hot. when she got introduced, when the transformation happened. But it seems like they're going for way more. Like, she is really beautiful. Like, you know, physically, like game graphics wise, she is very beautiful. Like, and also on top of that, because I guess because of her physical weakness compared to when she's in the suit, inside the Metroid suit, they gave her jet heals. That's gonna be really cool to use. I'm actually really interested in trying to play as her, just to see what kind of strength she has. Like, that was pretty cool. They separated pretty much the Zelda and Sheik and Metroid Samus and Zero Suit Samus, which we're gonna call that. They separated those, now the new characters. People are complaining that like, this is gonna be a very small character list. I don't know how I feel about that, and people are overreacting. I don't think it's gonna be a really small character. I mean, the guy said he's not gonna be adding any new characters, well, not many new characters, but that doesn't mean characters from the previous Brawl or even from Melee or even Smash Bros are not gonna make appearances, or they're not gonna be playable. Speaking of new characters, all around new characters, it's been confirmed that Little Mac, the character from Punch-Out, has a instant KO move. I don't know how to feel about that. That seems really cheap because, and it isn't. It's really cheap in the sense that, from the way they made it sound, when you're getting pummeled, your knockout meter goes up. Meaning, if you're really good and strategic, you can actually let Mac take a lot of hits. And another thing about Little Mac that is even more cheap, or not cheap, but just overpowered, is the fact that unlike a lot of Melee characters, Little Mac is the first I've ever seen to be able to take a straight up attack, shrug it off. This is bad because if Mac can shrug off attacks, what's to stop people from playing as Little Mac, taking attacks and just knocking them out of the field? So like, I can almost guarantee Little Mac's gonna be tournament banned just because of that. Because Meta Knight was tournament banned. I mean, why wouldn't tournament ban Little Mac? Unless what they have them do is ban his knockout punch. Because of the knockout punch, Little Mac isn't really good with aerial attacks. He's not good at all in the air. And it even straight up said this, that his recovery sucks. Like, I laughed hard because I was like, dang, like, you know you're bad when you got the people who own you telling you suck within the air. So I guess the one thing about Little Mac players is being able to get them in the air and make sure they can't get back down. I guess it's pretty much what it is. You cannot let up when you toss them. So juggling is going to become a huge thing for people who use Little Mac. I'm going to be using Little Mac. I will. Just straight up, I'm not going to deny that. I'm going to be using and abusing Little Mac. But the characters that I really going to abuse more Little Mac, I would probably be abusing, that sounds bad. I'm going to probably be abusing, what's that character? I think I'm going to be abusing Charizard and Greninja. Maybe not Greninja. I'm probably going to be abusing Charizard most likely because I'm a huge Charizard fan. Call me a fanboy all you want. I like Charizard. I really do. I don't like him more than Blaziken though, and I really wish that Blaziken would have been the Pokemon that was in place of Charizard. Because Blaziken's gonna Mega Evolve, and I think Blaziken fits. This is one problem I kind of have with Smash Bros. Like, there's a lot of characters within the franchise that fit fighting games more. Like, even for Sonic the Hedgehog, like Knuckles and Shadow. Definitely Knuckles fits the freaking mold. Why isn't Knuckles in the game? Like, what? And especially since Nintendo and Sega are partnered now, they have access to Knuckles. I mean, it makes sense before they had access to Knuckles because, you know, Sega and Nintendo weren't partnered. But now they're partnered and Knuckles hasn't made a freaking appearance. Like, I wish Knuckles would make an appearance. He fits the character, so I mean, just like Little Mac. People complain about Little Mac for years. I mean, years. Like, why he wasn't in the game. Because Little Mac fit the mold so great. He's a boxer. He's a genuine fighter. No offense to Mario or even Luigi or even freaking Wario. their games weren't directed towards fighting. They were platformers. They're platforming characters. They jump on platforms and move around, hence the name platform. Like, they aren't genuine boxers, they aren't genuine fighters. Like, they don't have the brute strength that a lot of other characters will excuse from Wario, because Wario has brute strength. Because this game have elements of fighting in them. But like, Little Mac is a genuine, straight-out fighting game. And Little Mac just took this long to get in the game. I mean, they did say it was really hard, because this is the first time they ever used Little Mac. He's a straight-up fighter. Like, he's a straight-up fist guy. Fisticuffs. He straight-up punches. So this is a really new thing for them, because they never actually had a character just punch consistently, like left, right. Like, I guess it's the first time they ever programmed a character to do that. So it's gonna be really cool to see what disadvantages Little Mac has and what advantages he has. One of the greatest advantages Little Mac has so far, as I've seen, and it's gonna be really used a lot, is that he can take attacks. It's gonna take a whole lot more to throw him off his feet. Mainly because I think the main reason why he's able to shrug up attacks, he's probably the only character that's probably gonna have this ability. I could be wrong, but I feel like he's gonna be the only character that's gonna have this ability. Being able to shrug off attacks, because not many characters, at least I know of, can do this. Now, if they put Knuckles in there, I would definitely see Knuckles being able to shrug off attacks as well. But are they gonna put Knuckles in there? I have no idea. But like, Little Mac himself, sorry we're talking about Little Mac so much, but Little Mac, I feel like it's gonna be a character that it's gonna take a lot of veteran players are probably gonna really hate him. And newbie players are gonna love him. I say veteran players are probably gonna hate Little Mac because he has a knockout meter. This is the first time in Smash Bros. History where a character is given a straight up instant knockout meter. Like, he can just send you flying. And, like, I'm surprised no one's really complain about that. I thought it was gonna be an instant problem when he saw that happen, because Little Mac obviously charged up a punch and sent the character flying. So his punch will instantly knock you out. Good thing is though, Little Mac will never start out with the instant knockout meter, so you will easily be able to get your chance to get him out before he gets to charge up. But you also got the problem that if you hit him, his knockout meter will charge up. Okay, folks. And we're back. Sorry about that, guys, but that was something else. We're just on to any more characters. Okay, sorry about getting consistent with it. But let's see, we got Greninja. And we got Charizard, Mega Charizard. We got the adjustment to Mega Lucario. So now we know Mega Lucario is in the game. It's a Mega Evolution, it's Lucario's Final Smash, like Mega Charizard X is Charizard's Final Smash. Another thing is, you also talk about the Charizard, you didn't hear me say Pokemon Trainer. That's a change that I actually really freaking like, and it's not because I didn't like Squirtle or even Ivysaur, it was I found the Pokemon Trainer to be distracting. Whenever I played Pokemon Trainer, I found him in the background just to be really distracting. Like, sometimes when I'm trying to look at Squirtle, my eye likes to just divert to the trainer in the background, because it's like, why are you here? Like, you're just directing Pokemon to do the fighting for you. You're not really winning the fight. And I'm not saying that Red is bad. I'm just saying that I really found him distracting in the background. So, you know, should they have just a different Pokemon? They could have. But when you really think about what Pokemon of Red's people use the most often, Charizard is the one that comes to mind. People use him a whole lot more because of his Rock Smash. And I kind of hope that is part of him now. I mean, it's still part of the moveset. And now he doesn't have the Pokemon Trainer anymore, he can have more movesets. He can have more moves, like Flamethrower, Fire Punch. I think he can use Fire Punch in the game, so it's kind of cool to see him use Fire Punch in the game, in Smash Bros. 4. He's got Mega Evolution, so his moveset can completely change up when he turns Dragon. There's a bunch of possibilities with Charizard and Mega Charizard. So Mega Evolution is being part of the game. I was so happy to find out Mega Evolution was going to make the way into the Pokemon of the game. And another Pokemon they actually introduced, which was quite interesting. They decided to choose this Pokemon of all things. Not saying he's a bad Pokemon, it's just really weird they decided to choose him. Greninja. Greninja is now a member of Smash Bros. Now. So a Pokemon X is X and Y, right? This is in the game. So this is the Pokemon they're talking about. Greninja. Now, for one, I like the choice. I'm a fire user and I use Delphox, but honestly, I couldn't see Delphox in any fighting situation, at least within Brawl. Why? I can't. It's just. It's very hard to It's very hard to say, especially with Smash Bros. They usually take the more popular of the Pokemon in there, and sometimes maybe the less popular. Delphox, I just couldn't see it. So I don't think it could have done much, to be completely honest. Yeah, it had a magic wand and everything, but I really couldn't see it in a fighting situation. And the other thing is, I'm quite satisfied with Charizard, so I don't really need Delphox to be in the game. If they hadn't chose Greninja, I would say Chestnut would have probably been a good choice as well. Especially with its spiky shield. I just think maybe Chestnut and Greninja's moves, their species-specific moves were probably the better of the three species-specific moves that could really help out in Smash Bros. Mythical Fire, I couldn't see. And Greninja's pretty cool. My only complaint with Greninja's design is its tongue, and I think that's a lot of people's complaints about Greninja, is the tongue scarf. But so far, that's my only complaint with Greninja. The scarf is the only complaint. Delphox, my biggest complaint with Delphox, design-wise, probably why I wouldn't like to see it in HD graphics, is how plain it was. Like, I don't know why. It just seemed like Delphox became really plain when it evolved finally. Braxton was very cool looking. I will say this much. Braxton was very cool looking. I will say this much. When I saw the evolution, I was like everybody else. Oh lord, now they're fighting type. But it's kind of a fresh, piece of fresh breath of fresh air. See that they can stand on their two legs and not be a fighting type. So it's a breath of fresh air to see that, because Pig went that direction, and we all know what happened with that. So I'm really happy Greninja's having the chance to do it. Put in the game. So I know they're pushing Froakie, so get pushed away. I think that's about it. Like, I can't wait for Smash Bros. Is what I'm trying to say. Hopefully I can get the game sometime this year. If I can't, I'll get it next year. Because they're releasing Smash Bros. To the Wii U at Christmas, so I'm expecting a Wii U bundle. I'm looking at you, Nintendo. I'm looking directly at you. I'm expecting a Wii U bundle for the freaking Smash Bros. I think what they're hoping for is that when people get a taste of Smash Bros. On the 3DS, they're gonna want to have the full-fledged taste, the full-fledged piece de resistance, just the full-fledged meal is all I gotta say. The full-fledged meal of Smash Bros. And all its HD glory, all its HD goodness, all its just HD everything. Like, Wii U is just proven to be a monster when it comes to beating out all the other iterations of itself, from the GameCube to now, or even from the N64 or Super Nintendo. It's proven Nintendo can produce a very powerful system, so much more powerful that it's more powerful than 360 and PS3, which is quite a feat in itself, meaning Nintendo's had this kind of power somewhere in their company, and if they waited to now to release this type of power, we got kind of a piece of it for the GameCube. But the fact that there's they made a system this good, like this powerful, is the problem is people don't marketing. It's very good. People don't know the Wii U is a new console. People don't know that. When I first heard, I thought it was so is the Wii U a gamepad? Like, is that what it is? Finally later on, it is an entirely different console. So I'm hoping Smash Bros. Can get people to buy a Wii U and stop mistaking it for being its own, just being an add-on, because an add-on that costs that much, it wouldn't sell, period. The fact that it's sold based on the fact that people think it's an add-on is very freaking, you know, it's not good. And I sure do hope the Wii U during the winter sales this year, you know, manages to sell. I really just hope I hope Smash Bros. For this year, because it's coming up this year. I mean, Sakura has been had this game in development for at least, I think, 4 years. Because we've all known ever since Brawler there was going to be new Smash Bros. We just didn't know when he was going to announce it. Because he's been working on Kick or Surprise. So, that's pretty good. I mean, we also saw that Pit's gliding has now been removed, and now it's been substituted with its recovery. And also, he's got the 3 sacred treasures in his final smash. Pit can fly now. I am going to freaking love using Pit. The saddest thing about Pit, though, is the fact that Pit's a 3DS exclusive game. The fact that none of his levels will appear within the Wii U is kind of disappointing. It's very sad. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I mean, honestly, the fact that handheld exclusive levels are gonna be in the 3DS and then console exclusive levels are gonna be on the Wii U, with very few console exclusive levels. Honestly, like a lot of people, we expected the Smash Bros. Game to come out next year or even the year after that. We weren't really expecting it to come out so soon. Like, crying out loud, man. It still feels like it just got announced, and yet we've already seen so much of this game. It's ridiculous. Well, enough with the random movements in the head turning. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.